It's a special night at the Octagon of Doom. It's senior night in Manhattan, and the Wildcats honoring a trio of players that is part of one of the winningest classes in K-State history. Tonight from Bramlage Coliseum, Phillips 66 presents Big 12 basketball. And tonight, these Wildcats, ranked 9th in the country, are hosting the Horned Frogs of TCU. Coliseum filling up now for the 9th-ranked Wildcats as they host the Horned Frogs of TCU. Let's check out the starting lineups. Start with the visitors from Fort Worth. Kean Anderson starts in that backcourt with Nate Butler-Lynn, Charles Hill Jr., the freshman, and a couple of seniors, Patrick McKinney and Garland Green starting up front. After the Wildcats getting the start tonight, you see Martavius Irving, the senior, along with seniors Rodney Magruder and Jordan Enriquez. They are joined by Shane Southwell and Angel Rodriguez. We will not see Will Spradling tonight. He is battling a bruised sternum and is out for this contest. Coach Weber, what he has done in his first year. Look at this, 24-5 record. The best start by a first-year coach in K-State history. And then Trent Johnson, also in his first year. It's been a different story for him. 0-8 on the road of the Big 12, 10-19 overall in a rebuilding project at TCU.
Well, the good news for Coach Johnson is he's got 3 guys sitting out who were injured earlier this year, who would have made an impact. Plus, he signed 3 impact players in the early signing period, so the future is bright for TCU.
So what's at stake for the Wildcats? They've got to keep pace as the Jayhawks won last night to get a half game ahead of Kansas State. You look at the Big 12 race. The Jayhawks have that game in Waco against the Baylor Bears on Saturday. Meanwhile, Kansas State tonight against the Horned Frogs in what you would think would be almost like an exhibition contest against the last place team in the Big 12, and then a big date with the Cowboys of Oklahoma State in Stillwater.
Well, it certainly is going to be a challenge, but hey, you want to win the Big 12 championship, you got to do it on the road against the best teams, and Oklahoma State having an outstanding year as well.
What a feat it would be for the Wildcats. It would be their first conference championship since 1977. Rodney Magruder has been so special as a senior. As you mentioned, Coach, he leads in so many different categories, top 10 in almost everything in his career.
And more importantly than that, he is an outstanding young man, will graduate this spring. A true credit to his coaches here at Kansas State and his mom and dad back home in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, his mom and dad are here, Rodney and Rudine, and this crowd celebrating Rodney Magruder and Jordan Enriquez and Martavius Irving on senior night. And you look at Rodney Magruder, so proud of this moment, this time. We talked to him before the game, and he said he will get his degree. He is the first one from the Magruder family to go to college and get his degree.
I tell you, it is. When I hear stories like that, it brings tears to my eyes, and quick flash of his mother, and we're off.
Well, it's TCU in their road purple uniforms and K-State in their home gray. It's TCU with the ball first. Kean Anderson, he's been good of late. Green almost walked with it. Coach, TCU would love to take the air out of the ball and shorten this game if they can, right?
They need to make this about a 24-minute game if they can, because they don't have the depth that Kansas State has. They got to be able to handle their pressure and take time off the clock.
So Trent Johnson, and he wasn't feeling very well earlier today. We were at the shoot-around, and he said, guys, I didn't avoid you at practice because I was trying to avoid you. I was just trying to keep you away from getting sick, and we appreciate that. But he did come over to say this will be a huge challenge tonight on senior night, and he's wondering how special a player Rodney Magruder is, and he couldn't stop talking about Magruder and the impact he's had on this Wildcat program.
And they'll throw a number of different players at him, some different looks. Look for them to try and deny him the ball early on.
Right now, it's Nate Butler-Lynn who has the assignment. Angel Rodriguez, boy, has he been one of the most special point guards in this conference of late. Last 8 games, he's averaging 16 a game. Southwell gives it up to Rodriguez for 3. Butler-Lind walked with it. Quick turnover for TCU. They've got to limit those.
A handling pressure defense will be a key, and being patient on the offensive end.
Magruder pulls up. That was smooth. Just a little closer than his three-point winner in Waco.
Movement without the basketball. Working to get open. Rodney Magruder at his best.
Mr. Big Shot, Rodney Magruder. We were talking to Coach Weber before the game and said, did you know immediately what you were going to call with 1 second remaining? He said, yeah, we worked on it in Brazil earlier this summer.
Talk about the need for a foreign trip. Paid off.
Absolutely. And Anderson answers with a 3 of his own. You know, on that trip, they used a 24-second clock, and he said, we had so many possessions that came down to 2 or 3 seconds, so we had to develop sort of an emergency 1 or 2 second play, and that's what they did, and it certainly paid off at Baylor.
You're a young player. You have to understand how hard you have to work when you're the marked man. You can see Rodney Magruder going side to side, using staggered screens, getting to his favorite spot right around the foul line.
In this motion offense, Coach, it took him a while to find where those spots would be, but boy, he's comfortable in it now.
Well, and as you mentioned, the Baylor shot was actually a read off a play, exactly like that.
An air ball this time. He thought his arm was bumped on the three-point shot. And a whistle and a foul on Rodriguez. Now you look at Radine Magruder, who is here from Washington, D.C., along with his dad, Rodney Magruder. And you know, they're so thrilled and so proud of their son, as rightfully they should be. And he's coming off a big game against Baylor, but also remember, he scored 21 against these Horned Frogs earlier this year in Fort Worth. Charles Hill Jr. trying to get around Southwell, who pokes it free. To Magruder. Love that reaction. Beautiful move by Anderson, and then getting caught in traffic, McKinney, and the ball goes off K-State. It'll stay with the Horned Frogs.
This is what has made K-State so successful, scoring off of turnovers. They average almost 17 points off turnovers a game.
Inbounds play, and we have to throw it out to near midcourt to Anderson. Anderson has started every game this year for the Horned Frogs. Really coming on strong of late in his sophomore campaign. A turnaround jumper that won't go from McGinney. Long rebound, and McKinney gets it back. Three-pointer, Anderson. No. And a whistle and a foul. This is called against Garland Green.
Hey, what you're going to see out of this Texas Christian team is a team that executes their offense very well. They create some open shots, but their Achilles heel has they haven't been able to knock them down.
I would say this, in a season where you're 10-19, they've lost 7 in a row and 15 of their last 16. It is a credit to Trent Johnson and his coaching staff that they still are playing as hard as they are playing.
You're absolutely right. I had an opportunity to watch them practice last night, and they went hard at it for an hour to an hour and a half, which again, that's the experience of Trent Johnson leading this young team.
Little hook shot by McKinney doesn't go. And a whistle and a foul called against TCU. So far it's Jordan Enriquez and Rodney Magruder and Martavius Irving, this senior class, leading K-State to a 6-point lead. And we're back after this from our friends at Phillips 66.
Basketball. Just fill up, grab a game card, and go online for a chance to win the Basketball Home Entertainment Prize Pack or hundreds of other prizes.
Keep the party moving. Darling. Bud Light together again with Pitbull. Here we go.
For over 75 years, people have saved money with Geico. Oh, sorry.
Here we go, from the top, and action.
For over 75 years, people have saved money with Gecko.
Cut it.
What did I say? Gecko. I said Gecko. Oh. For over 75 years...
Keep it together.
I'm good. For over 70... What are you doing there? Stop making me laugh.
Geico, saving people money for over 75 years.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
The length of the court pass by Baylor that goes awry. That gives Kansas State possession underneath their own hoop, and man, coach, did they take advantage.
Well, you can see on that play, the defender went under the screen. Rodney Magruder read it perfectly and knocked it down.
So Rodney Magruder, I mean, it's one thing to design the play, but it's another thing to have the player with the courage to be able to hit that shot. And Magruder knew as soon as it left his hand that that was good.
You have to trust your players after you draw up the play if you're the coach. And trust in their ability when a team scouts it to read and react properly. Rodney Magruder has done that in the last 19 games, and his numbers have skyrocketed.
You know, it was interesting. He had not hit a three until that game-winning three in that game. But that's a shooter's mentality. You forget about the misses, and you concentrate on the makes.
Well, when a coach says to you in the huddle, we're going to you, that gives you some confidence to make the shot.
Great win by Kansas State to keep pace and keep their hopes alive of a conference championship. First one since 1977. Latavius Irving can't get it to go, but there's another senior ripping down the rebound. Irving. And the senior gets it. Here's Muriel, his mom, on hand with several other relatives. They made the drive. Yes, the drive from Fort Lauderdale. They are here for the first time watching Martavius play.
That's dedication. Holy cow. 24 hours. It's a long drive.
24 hours of Le Mans, huh?
But well worth it.
You bet. Here comes Rodriguez. You get the sense that part of his role today is to make sure the seniors have a big night. Tried to set up Jordan Enriquez, who misses 2 point-blank shots. On a foul, this one on Green, trying to set a pick way away from the action. Well, that's a silly foul, and it's the second on Green.
TCU substitution, number 2, Kyle Coslin.
Angel Rodriguez comes in his last 8 games, coach. He has averaged 16 points and 6 assists. And in all 8 games, he's been in double figures in every one of them. You see the senior class, it's the winningest class in terms of victories in K-State history. Of course, back in the 50s when they had more success in terms of conference championships and things like that, they didn't play as many games. But still, to win 98 games and counting is quite a significant accomplishment.
It certainly is. And just shows you the hard work and dedication of these 3 seniors.
And a whistle and a foul on Jordan Enriquez, trying to keep Devontae Abram out of the paint. It'll be the second on Jordan Enriquez. His brother is on hand, brother Corey, along with his mom, Lisa, honoring Jordan Enriquez, and you think all three of these guys, the journey that they have been on, you know, to get here to this place. And they all made a collective decision after Frank Martin decided to go to South Carolina at the end of the NCAA tournament last year. Before they knew that Bruce Weber was going to be the coach, the three of them sat down in a room and they said, what are we going to do? And they all three collectively said, we're staying no matter what. We're staying.
And they understand what it takes to create a long-lasting legacy. And to do that, you have to win a championship. And by coming back, they have given the Wildcats a chance to win a Big 12 championship for the first time since 1977.
And not only that, Coach, but if they do, they would only be the third school in Big 12 history to win a football championship and a basketball championship in the same school year. Oklahoma did it in 04-05. Texas did it in 05-06. So they have a chance to really grab some great history in this conference. Nino Williams is checked in. Now back out to Magruder. Quick lead for K-State. They're up by 10. Angel Rodriguez can't get it to go, and the rebound is ripped down by Charles Hill. Bullying his way inside, and the rebound goes out of bounds off of Crossland. Devontae Abram, sophomore. Look at this move.
This is a good look by Abram. He backs him in, gets him a little bit too far under the rim, creating a poor angle. But good patience by the big fellow who transferred in here from Arkansas.
Abram, a sophomore out of Dallas, Texas. He's been in double figures in 3 straight games. Good pass inside. There's Gibson. Williams with a nice pass from the wing.
Demeanor and composure that Anderson plays with out front.
That's a charge. Foul against Nate Butler-Lynn. That's 5 team fouls on Trent Johnson's Horned Frogs. Still a few things to be decided in the Big 12 race and seeds and all that. Texas Christian is assured the number 10 seed.
Now Texas Christian plays a 2-3 zone, trying to mix things up.
And Magruder can't hit the three-pointer. Good rebound by Nate Butler-Lynn. Now Anderson pulls up in transition. Nice 3. Count the basket, and then fighting for what could have been a rebound. Got some traffic going on between Devontae Abram and Williams.
Anderson on the run. He knows he has numbers underneath. He's got confidence to shoot the 3. He takes it, buries it, and then they're going to get the bonus of a foul on the block out.
This could be a huge possession for the Horned Frogs. Now they're called on Nino Williams. Anderson almost stepped over that midcourt line. And then goes all the way in and is fouled. He could score 6 points on this one trip down the court.
Kean Anderson working on Martavius Irving, and a chance for a 3-point play.
Dave Armstrong and Kean Anderson with a chance. One trip down the court, Coach. You don't see this very often, to score 6 points. A 3-pointer and then the old-fashioned 3-pointer.
He's got a chance to almost get to his average on a couple of possessions.
through that season average. He's been averaging 13 points over his last 7 games, all double figures. Trent Johnson's got to like that. If he can get 6 points every time they come down to court, it'd be great.
Well, you've got a sophomore who leads you in points, assists, steals.
Yep.
Again, you look for things for the future. That's a guy you can build upon.
Zone defense now by TCU.
They played it the previous possession. K-State misses a 3. Now they turn it over.
So a steal here by Butler Lynn. And TCU back in business again. Irving guarding Anderson now. Boy. Can't let that go. Avery, no. And then he's tripped up. And the foul is called here on Thomas Gibson.
Dave, I'm telling you right now, post play is not a thing for the faint of heart. There's a lot of bodies being banging in there. And foul on the offensive rebound. But I'm not sure how much of a foul that was on the initial contact, if there was any at all, or if it was an Academy award.
So you thought it was more of a flop than a foul?
I thought it was more of a flop. Although the one key is Avon did drop his shoulder into him.
Can't hit the free throw. Irving for 3. Martavius Irving.
How do you beat a zone? One way is to beat it before it gets set up.
His family over there saying it was worth the drive. Irving getting his first start of the year. Started 14 games as a junior. Nice little floater in the lane that won't go, but now a whistle and a foul called on McKinney over the back for the rebound.
When you attack the zone, if you can beat it down, throw the ball ahead, as Rodriguez does, you're going to get an open look.
I think what I noticed there, not only the good form by Martavius Irving, but I was watching Rodney Magruder come flying in for a potential missed shot and a potential offensive rebound. He was flying down the paint for that.
Dave, those are the little things. When you do them every single possession, you're going to get one down the line. K-State's a flash a guard into that high post area. Try and make 2 guys play 1.
Irving has to throw up a 3 with 3 on the shot clock. It's no good. Fight for the rebound. And it's ripped away by Charles Hill.
TCU doing an excellent job of making it 1 and done for the Wildcats.
They've slowed the game a little bit, too, with that zone.
Well, they've handled the pressure on the offensive end, so there hasn't been as many runouts as there were early.
Shot clock is down to 5. And is that a travel? It is.
Dave, there are 2 kinds of turnovers, good ones and bad ones. That actually was a good turnover because it became a dead ball situation.
And not after Charles Hill. Looked like he got popped in the nose.
Certainly did.
Depends on who you talk to. There are 2 kinds of getting popped in the nose, too. That stings. You can log on to Big12sports.com/CTV. Check out Big 12 network announcer blogs covering the baseline. You find out from Coach Z about how the teams of the Big 12 are still jockeying for position in the conference and working on goals for their respective programs.
You get to this time of the year, teams are playing for different things. TCU under first-year head coach Trent Johnson, you're playing for tomorrow, for next year. Build with the young guys a foundation. If you're Kansas State with 3 seniors and Bruce Weber in his first year, you're building for today with keeping an eye on tomorrow. Win a championship today, and tomorrow will take care of itself.
Stephen Howard also writing in the blog about the bubble teams in the Big 12, a bubble watch, and then Mitch Holthus. He was talking about K-State and their quest for history. So you can read all about it on the Big 12 official website. Southwell. I think he was in between there. He was thinking about going off glass, and he just threw up a nice soft jumper.
That young man has made as much improvement as anybody on this Kansas State program. When he was inserted into the lineup 19 games ago, that's when this team started to take off.
Absolutely. Here comes Magruder ahead of the pack.
That was an atomic bomb turnover.
So that's the kind you really don't want.
Those are the ones you dread as a coach.
Rodriguez almost had another one. Anderson, long three. Wow. Not over and back. I was touched by TCU. Inserted in that starting lineup. K-State 17-3.
He gives them a different dimension because he's big enough to guard a post guy, but he's versatile enough to pull out a post guy out on the offensive end and shoot the jump shot.
Anderson needs some help offensively. He scored 12 of the 14 points for TCU. And maybe it'll be Abram as he gets ready to go to the line. But Kansas State doing their best on senior night to honor these seniors. Rodney Magruder slams home that point. We're back after this from our friends at...
One way to attack a zone defense in the half court, and that's overloading a side. And you can see it right here as the ball swings. You're going to see Shane Southwell duck into that sweet spot. You've occupied the post, the wing, and now the opposite guard has to come to a spot that he's not used to coming because Shane Southwell found that sweet spot.
So by overloading it, you really have 4 players. You have 3 players trying to guard 4.
Exactly. And the defense has to make a decision, and they make a defensive slide that they're not used to. And the weak side guard was late. Southwell took advantage.
By the way, the Wildcats have been very efficient today. On 11 made field goals, they have 11 assists.
That's called unselfishness. If there's a metric for an offensive motion team, that would be it.
Southwell leading the way. He's got 10 points. Magruder is hit on a 3-point attempt. He'll go to the line to shoot 3. The foul on Anderson.
Anderson is first. Team number 7.
Very opportunistic in transition, but if you're Anderson, you cannot foul the jump shooter. That's going to put gray hair on Trent Johnson's head.
Irving's going to almost shoot more free throws in this one trip to the line than all year. He's only taken 10 free throw attempts all year. He's 8 for 10 going into this trip.
He's a young man who takes a lot of three-point shots. When you look at championship-level teams, championship-caliber teams, you have to have a player like Martavius Irving who is willing to come off the bench and excel at that role.
He's really good as far as instant offense, 43% from three-point range, but he's also a very good defender.
Very solid defender. Would start on most Big 12 teams, but again, has sacrificed for the good of the entire team.
Might have gotten the start tonight anyway, being senior night, but with Will Spradling sitting this one out, trying to heal that chest before Saturday's showdown in Stillwater.
I know if I'm Bruce Weber, I'm happy that I have Martavius Irving to start tonight.
No question. McKinney, nice drop step. Boy, good move by Adric McKinney.
TCU has done an outstanding job of getting the ball to the post and getting the shot they want. First one that they're able to connect on.
Southwell. Nice little baby hook. James Southwell with a dozen points. By the way, he's also 5 for 5 from the field. This matches the biggest lead of the game for K-State. Crossland trying to keep it alive. Magruder, how about that little pass? He just swatted the ball to Angel
Basketball
Rodriguez.
IQ, Dave. Basketball IQ at its best.
A terrific play by Magruder. Instead of trying to grab that ball, he saw Angel Rodriguez way ahead of the pack, and he just swatted the ball to him.
Outstanding.
Good move inside by Butler Lind. 4 seniors on this TCU team, including Butler Lind, McKinney, Crossland, and Green. Johnson comes out to set a high kick for Rodriguez. No, Johnson almost got all the way from setting a high pick back to the rim to get that rebound hole. Green pulls up. Garland Green, the only 4-year player for the Horned Frogs as far as senior class is concerned. The other guys all transferred in. Oh, good seal. DJ Johnson, the freshman from St. Louis. Anderson, another three-pointer. Kean Anderson. Anderson with 15 points for TCU, his 8th straight game in double figures.
On that last Kansas State possession, if you want the ball, go set a screen. DJ sets the screen and then has a great seal, pushes the defender up the lane, creates easy space for a basket.
McKinney wanted a little hook there, but he just kind of fell asleep at the switch inside, and just better positioned by DJ Johnson.
Dave, this is a great defensive move by Trent Johnson. The zone defense has slowed this game down and given the Horned Frogs a chance to stay in it.
Rodriguez a 3. Got it. 8 points now for Angel Rodriguez. Good defense by Rodriguez, but a better pass, and inside to Garland Green. Kean Anderson. That was good vision there by Anderson, with Angel Rodriguez draped all over him. Again, good vision. Back to Green again. A three-pointer in and out, no good. McKinney keeps it alive. Away by Southwell. I would say that was poked away as well. And now the ball is kicked, and we've got a timeout with 2:23 remaining.
Talk about laser vision with a point guard. That's what we're talking about with Anderson as he hits Green for the easy score.
A take a look at our quick stats brought to you by La Quinta Inns and Suites.
Dave, TCU started off the ball game 1 for 4, but since then they've caught fire, doing a good job of taking care of the basketball as well.
Yeah, they're 6 for their last 9, Coach. And I mean, TCU doesn't shoot 53%. Problem is, Kansas State shooting 65%.
Well, they've gotten some easy baskets in transition, some easy ones off steals.
So right now it's an 11-point advantage for the Wildcats, trying to go to 25-5. Adrian Diaz is checked in for the Wildcats.
Changing defenses again. TCU out of the timeout, back to man-to-man.
Whistle and a foul. This one on Diaz, trying to get set inside. That's the first one on Adrian Diaz. Coach doesn't like the way that Diaz tried to set up in the low post.
Those are the types of plays when a guy comes in off the bench and gets called for a blocking foul on the offensive end. That's not going to give you more minutes because it's not going to make the coach very happy.
Johnson's got to love it, the effort, the hustle from his Horned Frogs. And Southwell, he's a little blurred vision right now. He's got poked in the eye here.
You can see it's a battle. It's hand-to-hand combat in the lane. And Irving slaps it away, goes off with TCU.
Abram with an inadvertent hand to the face of Southwell. Look at Kansas State. They're on a roll. They have won 5 in a row, and as you see, 9 of their last 10. Southwell, he can't miss tonight. He can't miss. He is 6 for 6. 15 points for Shane Southwell. That's only 4 shy of a career high for him. Three-pointer in and out, no good for Charles Hill. Rebound, though, from Abram, and Diaz has picked up his second foul. Trying to buy some time with a big fella, Diaz, with Thomas Gibson and Jordan Enriquez, each with 2 fouls.
Abram has done a very good job the last few games of creating foul situations for the opponents. He's taken 22 free throws in the last couple of games, and he's getting them here again tonight.
Abram is sophomore, Anderson is sophomore. Couple of guys, couple of pieces of the puzzle you start to build around if you're the Horned Frogs. 1 minute to go here in the first half. Magruder. He just makes it look easy, doesn't he?
He is poetry in motion without the basketball. A coach's dream.
And by the way, that's the 7th assist of the game for Angel Rodriguez. 7. Southwell trying to poke it away. And it's thrown away by Abram. That'll give Trent Johnson reason to fret over on his bench.
Watch Rodney Magruder away from the basketball. Setting his man up, you take him away and come back to where you want to catch it. That is poetry in motion.
It is. And good for Angel Rodriguez to find him. And Rodriguez has really been special of late, as I mentioned, averaging 6 assists. He already has 7 in this game with only 1 turnover. Now, coming up at halftime, Big 12 season's coming down to the wire. We'll kind of preview the week ahead. Plus, we'll tell you about the player of the week in the Big 12 Conference and stats and highlights from this game as well.
Dave, as you were talking about Angel Rodriguez, there was a question mark coming into the season of how good could he be? Could he sustain the flashes that he showed as a freshman? And as a sophomore, he has shown that consistency. Leads the Big 12 in assist-to-turnover ratio.
Wouldn't you say, especially since the Florida game, he has been one of the most consistent performers. And last year he wasn't. He was mercurial. He would have these moments that you go, wow, that was special. And then he'd disappear for a while. Well, not this year. This year he has become a very consistent performer for K-State.
Al McGuire once said it, what's the best thing about freshmen? They become sophomores. And he is living proof of that.
Irving pulls up. Won't go, and the first half will come to a close. So Kansas State closes out the first half, leading 42-27. Back to the drawing board for Trent Johnson and the Horned Frogs, who have lost 7 straight games. They're here on senior night, knowing it's a tough challenge against Rodney Magruder, Jordan Enriquez, and Martavius Irving. And it's Kansas State leading it 42-27.